YouTube is the vibe was good. It's your man SuavenyV. I'm here back with another video. Um, I'm about to check out Joe&Jada. They got Sierra on the podcast today. Joe&Jada, they do their thing. Always good laughs. They give good games sometimes, and it's a good vibe. So why not? Saying, have y'all chime in and check it out with me. You know what I'm saying? We gonna check it out together. I haven't seen it yet. I was about to watch it, so I said I might as well, record and get my reaction.
You're one of the ones I was like telling my team, I'm so excited. You get blessed to sit down with a lot of people, but this one is definitely one of the ones I was like telling my team, I'm so excited to see you guys.
And I seen it like 34th Street. They beats a kid and Russell Westbrook. They was at 34th Street. A kid scene.
Y'all, it's your boy Joe Pat. Yeah. You know who it is, your boy Jada.
Yeah.
The Joe&Jada show. Every show legendary. Every show iconic. What more can I say? Today's guest, you think about, I would call a quadruple threat. You know what I mean? Singing, dancing, acting, a mother, entrepreneur. If I like a single, whatever single threat. You know what I mean? She can do it all. Great energy, great personality. You say white, definitely white. Mother goes with white. One of the best in the world. Cause them athletes, man, when they lose, brother, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our guest today.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's just,
They changed.
not,
Why you want me to listen? I woke up today, right? Because I never prepared for the show. I'm just like, I'm crazy. I just shoot off. They know that. I think they know that. Yeah, but the shit, podcasts gotta talk about. Anyway, let's not. Because we got Sierra. But let me tell you, I woke up. It's gonna take a lot to deal with this guy. This interview, bear with me, please. You already saw the key interview. Yeah, I guess. My thing is, I woke up today with the way I ride. I was just on Sierra's song with all the dances and shit. I was like, yo, this one. And then all your hits is like, to me, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. While I'm watching, I'm like, yo, this was a bigger hit. And this was a bigger hit. And this was a bigger hit. But yo,
I ain't lying. She got your beats.
Joe&Jada, so Sierra, what's up?
yay.
I know, for
Man, thank you guys for having me. This is honestly, I was excited walking through the building today. You get blessed to sit down with a lot of people, but this one is definitely one of the ones I was like telling my team, I'm so excited to see you guys and to be here. You're two legends that have impacted the game so significantly. And I think for me, my greatest thing is just inspiration to see how, I asked you guys to we were talking about what I'm like, yeah, I know where we are in life and just also to the growth. And when I see you guys and the evolution, what you into hip hop, but also what you're building, like it lets you know that there's so much space for life to get better.
they ain't even get better. I think we just touching the surface, but there's just so many ways, you can take whatever you built, your brand, to take it. It's just so many. Can't tell you wherever you want. If I see something on one of the local channels, this one girl, she was one of the first ballet girls, and now she opened the foundation of ballet.
Yeah.
Like one day you might just want to be Debbie Allen and be like, yo, I'm opening my whole shit.
Yeah.
It's just so many great things you could do with whatever you feel like doing
Yeah.
in the future. So I'm an OG, right? So I said, yo, Sierra, right? I said, Sierra, how old are you? You ain't got to say, they all got Google and shit, right?
Yeah.
But, some milestone age, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not there yet.
I mean, no, you're not even there. How many months you have this longer than me?
Days.
Days away.
Yeah. Scorpios, baby, Scorpios of Dead Zodiacs on in the Juni.
They are crazy. Scorpios are crazy people, man. Oh, they started Scorpios. So let me tell you something. When I turned 40 years old, it was depression. And
Why was it depressing?
let me tell you something. I had built the flyest house I ever built. It was flying walls out of gold, ship spray. I'm doing just fine. That wasn't a bad moment in my life. And it's like, we've been doing this since I'm young. I've been rapping. I've been in the game since I'm 19, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm about to turn 40, all I know is standing on couches and popping bottles. But that 40 hit you like a different, like, I was depressed. They had to get me up off the couch. And you know who told me? Because all I ever thought of was I'm going to be a rapper, whatever. At 40, I ain't never seen a rapper hit one out the park after 40.
Mm.
So my man Dre, Cool and Dre came over on my birthday. I was pretty depressed. And he was like, yo, Joe, you know, Tina Turner ain't have her first hit till she was 47.
Wow.
So he started breaking all this down and made me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, because I was scared of what the future was for what we're doing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So what we're doing is we're selling this brand, we're selling this and this and that. And then for a guy like me, it felt like, oh, they know I'm old now. They know I'm you know. So it was a lot of mental health that I was going through that one day. Just
I feel you on that, but let me comment on that. But so no wonder he be saying if you 30, 40 years old and you trying to make it in the rap, quit and stop because that's how you feel. Because people put their failures on you. That's how basically how he feel. So he'll tell you don't do it, but it's no age to stop chasing your dream because you'll see people 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, still working at Walmart. So as long as people still getting a job working at Walmart, it ain't no age to stop pursuing your dreams.
that. The next day felt brand new again. Everything's good. 50 felt better than 40.
Wow.
I remember saying, I don't want to rap at 30. I was nowhere next to with 30 came. That was out of the fucking question. I didn't even touch it.
Wow.
Then with 40 came, I'm like, yo, I live with them. I felt like I had a lot more work to do. It felt like it's fucking over for one day. Yo, bro, I screamed at Smokey Robinson one day at the we used the All-Star game in LA. I was like, yo, Smokey, you almost fell down the whole fucking the escalator. I was like, yo, Smokey. He was like, they was holding him up. I said, shit, I almost killed Smokey Robinson, but yo. Crazy shit is, it's like, I go to shows, I'll be like performing in Vegas, and they'll be like, next week, Smokey Robinson. I say, yo, am I going to perform when I'm 80 years old? First of all, the Most High lets your body and your vocals able to still work to proper, you know what I mean, abilities is a blessing. What makes you have to stop, you know, don't cut me off. I'm sorry, brother. Okay. In our game, we gotta get rid of the mindset.
I ain't lying. Ever age.
Aging is a young person's game.
I ain't lying.
Real, that's the real babies is born every day, but it's no whoever fucking made the age limit.
I ain't lying.
R&B and
They need to stop that shit.
Yeah.
he has to rewrite the Constitution.
Right.
The age limit. Right. You just said Smokey Robinson, Nick Jagger. All of these dudes, they doing touring and going on stages to their. My Saturday, me and you will be 80 years old. Like Jada's up next. Like
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I ain't gonna hear on those. Yo, bro, I got so mad. You ain't got the legs for that. My shit goes, bro. Don't do that to yourself. What makes you fear getting a little older in life?
Well, you know, I don't even know if it's so much of fear because when I asked you, I said, is it okay if I ask you guys how old you are? And
That's about the time you said my skin is so smooth, Joe.
Oh my. Okay, so it's okay if you say your age, right, Joe?
I'm 55.
Yeah. And this,
Not yet, but when the day comes, I'll accept it. I know everybody now. They got grandpas in 20.
well, that's just life in general. That don't change really. But I asked you, Jada, and you said you were the 5-0. And for me, I just said it lets me know because I've been asking people their age now, like more frequently, knowing the chapter, the era I'm about to enter. When people say it back to me, I'm like, man, I'll be all right.
You got too many Viola David. You got too many. Who's the one I seen the other day? Way older than us. Angela Bassett.
Oh, she's amazing.
She looking like
She's amazing.
inside of an avocado.
What?
She got the Asian mask with the lights and shit, huh? Yo, she's out of here. Some men get super lucky. Because some men don't. And but some men, no, some men don't. Like, let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? You might love your wife and you married her for something, or you with her because she keeps it real or whatever. But some of them, they don't take care of men too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I aged well.
Yes.
Guys that were like, like this, sex symbols. I look at them now. Them boys be looking flabby and sick when Joe Crack come through floating with Euro. I'm in there like, what the hell? Rappers grab me by the shoulder and study my face. Go like, yo, come on, dog. Yo, what happened with this guy? This motherfucker looking like a monument or some shit. Like, I swear to God, got some old school rappers grab me and be like, oh, what? You doing just fine.
Yeah, all y'all look good though. All the rappers. One thing about the rappers. They do look good though. All of them look good. Like we live in an era where if the rappers do ask their age, they ask them because they look too damn good. Like we know you've been in the game for 20, 30 years, but you look like you look the age that you've been in the game. So if you've been in the game 23 years, nigga, you look 23. You've been in the game 30 years, you look 33. Like the age I remember when Nas said, I've been in the game 17, still looking 17. Been in the game 17 years, still looking 17. That's the goal. The goal is to look the age of the amount of number of years that you've been in. You know what I'm saying? So and then we as young people gotta stop saying that big bro auntie shit. That shit is kind of offensive to some people because they look good for their age. You know what I'm saying? I grew up when I was younger. I grew up around older people. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell they were older from what they act and what they did. You know what I'm saying? But this day and age, we live in a different era where you got the internet. Like, if what makes you old is when you stop living, when you stop caring for yourself, when you stop taking care of yourself, when you stop wanting to get a haircut, when you stop interested in girls wanting a new outfit, wanting a new coat, wanting a new pair of boots, wanting a new pair of shoes, wanting a new sweater, like when you don't care about changing your t-shirt, like it's just the simple things in life. When you if you 55 plus with a fucking 10-year old, you young. 7-year old, 8-year old, 5-year old. Some people 50 with a 2 year old. It don't even matter your age, you know what I'm saying? Because if you got a younger child, they're gonna keep you young. If you working out, exercising, that's young. Like when the weather be right in New York, a lot of older people, you'll see them running. Like they running, running. Running is a young man's sport. Riding a bike is a young man's sport. Dressing nice and wearing new name brand clothes is a young man's sport. Having a young woman. So if you are older guy, and so if you about 58 and you talk to somebody 36, that's you in the game. You young. You might be talking to a girl that's 34. You might be 59, talk to a woman that's 40. You know what I'm saying? So that's young. If you got a new car, if you got an iPhone, I don't give. If you 60 years old plus, if you 65, 60, 62, 63 with an iPhone, that's young. If you 60 plus and you texting, that's a young person game. And texting, if you FaceTiming, if you 60 years old and you FaceTiming your grandkids or FaceTiming your friends, and man, that's young. If you 60 years old and you still ride on the plane, that's young people's thing. That's what young people do, fly on plane. I love to see my auntie when she talking about she going on the plane and she 80 years old, 78, 79, 80, 81, and she on the, so a lot of it depends on what you do will make you young. If you going to the hairdresser as an older woman and get your nails done as an older woman and get your feet manicured and you exercising and you hanging around your granddaughter and she keeping you young and y'all going on dates and just doing stuff, man, that will keep you young, bro. Now, if you in the crib ain't doing now, if you 22 years old with kids, you old. You old head. And if you got a warehouse job and certain jobs, that shit make you old. Like I remember one time when I first got my warehouse, when I first got my warehouse job or got the second warehouse job, man, I started going to work about 3, 4 weeks. Man, them boys said, "Man, you like an old ass man. You'll start looking like an old ass man real quick because you working them 12 hours. You coming home, eating, taking a shower, going to sleep, sleeping, waking up to the time time for you to get up, probably take another shower just to feel fresh and wake you up more. Get your clothes ready, put your clothes on, get your food ready, and then drive to work. You doing that shit day after day after day after day. Man, you would start looking like an old man with them old dickies. Don't see. I used to take my boots off when I got out of work. Take your boots off, put your fresh shoes on, keep your t-shirt on. Got your hat. You got your old hat. You got your boot. Man, that shit make you look old. That's why I always kept a fresh cut. I always get that fresh cut. You know what I'm saying? To stay young. You know what I'm saying? And just stay hip to what's going on, even though you private and away from the crowd though. So that was always important. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends on what you do that what makes you young.
They also
Talk to him, Steve.
so they say that, I do believe though. I don't know. It's age to me. Like you talking about the power of music too. Music is ageless.
Oh, yeah.
I remember having someone question me in a meeting like, "How are you going to stay relevant?" And I was in my 30s. Obviously, I'm still in my 30s. I'm gonna hold on to these days. I got left, but yeah, 30s. And she asked me the question, and I was like what? I felt really offended because I'm like, "What you talking about?"
Mean?
Right? Because I'm like, to me, the age limitation or the boundaries, like that's within me and how I communicate to my fans. And I'm so grateful that I have to get to dance because to me, dancing is also ageless, right? So as long as I can bust it, get low, I do all that.
No, Sierra.
What's
When you think about this,
Exactly. Good. You got to see, but listen, I tell you though, when you say so, no, I don't want to. If I listen, I don't know if I'm trying to be mentions at 60 years old. To be honest with you, like I got goals. No, listen, that's what was.
I watched the documentary on Tina Turner, and she was going.
Oh, she was one night. Oh no, she's so
Tina Turner live in UK, and
she's special.
crazy. And I'm watching this. I think, yo, this lady was something else.
Yeah. But you mentioned earlier too how some of her biggest milestones in her career happened later in her career. So again, it's like, what is it? Age is nothing but a number. Like that's the real thing, right? And music is ageless, right? Music gives us such a gift to like go as far as we want to go. So I'll know when the timing is that like, you gotta sit down because dancing is a big part of my thing. So I gotta be able to sauce it up on stage. Okay, sauce it up, I'll sit down.
I think that the challenge that never love like they ain't know I had the moves. I came with that shit, legendary viral. I used to like. I used to like to dance like I wanted to be like Heavy D, and I would be outside in my projects practicing the Heavy D moves. Back in the day before I rap, I'd be doing the Heavy D dances. Who influenced you? Like, who was like some of the people you looked up to?
Well, for me, I would say my greatest influences on the dance front was definitely MJ and Janet.
Ooh,
Yeah, it doesn't get any better or higher than that, because they both did it all. They performed like nobody's business. They were the best performers on the stage. They, also melodically had the best records while they were performing.
that's everything.
And what I love is that they always talked about something in their records too. Like it was a whole package of who they were. And it's just the definition of the ultimate definition and example of a star, like what it looks like, what it feels like. And so for me, I would say those two are probably my greatest inspirations. I also gotta, talk about James Brown and the footwork, because footwork is a big part of my thing and what I do. And he was just saucy with it. Sammy Davis was saucy with it. Like, you understand the history where like MJ got his inspiration from. So for me, I would say those guys for sure is like some people that I looked up to.
What do you like more, singing and dancing, or you like some?
I love both.
All right.
It's a gift to do both of them. Again, because, I say there's like the most powerful forces on earth. It's called 3 M's: music, money, medicine. And music can give you a feeling that money can't buy sometimes. Music has the power to heal people that, if you're like a person suffering from terminal illness, music.
Y'all want to talk about music? If it's like that, Joe got 2 days to listen. The last throw that shit on.
No, music, money, medicine.
Oh.
So these are 3 M's. No, medicine. Medicine.
Yeah,
like music.
You just want to listen.
Yeah, music gives you, it's a gift. Yeah, so I feel music.
So, God forbid something happened to me and I'm on my way out, throw that music on that bitch.
It's going to feed your soul.
I want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to search it. I can't eat no more. I'm talking about you want to get you terminal. I want to hear some Marvin Gaye. I want to hear some Luther. I want to go out like that. So you want to take shots?
I don't think we do one time.
That's your crazy. Okay. Okay. It's not. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's not called that.
Dancing, like, those both music and dancing, they go hand in hand. Dancing is a universal language that we all try to speak in our own ways. Even if you can't bust a full move, you're going to react to a record when it makes you feel a certain way. So I just feel so blessed that I can do both. And I love them both the same, right? Dancing is it's a way of freedom, like mentally when you go in the rehearsal hall and you vibe out. Like it's crazy because we talk about age and getting older. And for some reason right now, I feel like I'm in my best pocket when I start busting in the hall. Like the way I remember routines are different. Like my wisdom, the way I pour into how I perform is different now. Like it's like you ain't gotta dance every sentence. You start to understand how to use, all of your history that you've had over time to work for you, right? So, but music, singing and dancing, like that's my jam. Like they both bring me so much joy.
So I'm just saying the ATL, right? Coming from the ATL, such a historic place. What was that like as a kid seeing, the Outcasts and the TLCs and all of them. And did you know you were in a special place?
Yeah.
You knew it.
Atlanta's special. I mean, it's the city that made me, and there's just so much goodness. Like, even when you talk about the artists and producers, the Dallas Austin of the world, Tricky Stewarts of the world, the Jermaine Dupri's of the world, um, you know, what's his name? Rest in peace.
Rico Way.
Rico Ways, like Polo Dons, the Polos. Like, it was so
the guy, what's my man, Sean Penn, the guy.
Yeah, Sean Garrett. We did these together. We wrote the record. What? We wrote the song and know that. Jazzy Faye. That's like those, and we're just talking, like, I'm talking about the producers. Like, I'm not even talking about the handful of all the writers. You mentioned Sean, the writers, like, then the artists.
So you just all every block. You were 12 years. At what point you thinking, I'm going to be a performer? I'm going to be this? You 12 years old knowing you in like the golden era. Do you know you at the promised land?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because you got to think about, like, growing, like, how music, is ageless. Music marks time.
These days,
oh my God, LA
started that whole shit.
Yeah, they signed. Like, it was my dream to be signed to Arista Records, right? So being a young girl coming up in Atlanta, it was real special for me because, again, like, you're just surrounded by so much good music. Even the Kilos of the world. Shout out to Jay because I have a song with him. It's called Skate, and he talked about kicking the song up with Kilo. So, but it was like even the smaller artists, there was so much music feeding me. Like, it's inevitable. Like, if you got music in you and you dance and you got that special gift in you, it just speaks to your soul in a different kind of way. Like, it kind of guides you a little bit. Like, melodically, you're just like, there's so much goodness coming in from all angles.
Yeah, so this was the 93, so that's Nas, Jay-Z, all of those guys.
Yeah.
Who did you see them to come up? Like, when you was doing showcases, who else you saw that really blew up? That was like, y'all both coming up.
Yeah.
And then you seen them take off too.
So let me see. My era, there was there was artists like Lloyd. He was coming up.
He got class.
Man, you're making me think. Like, because there was so many artists. Then there was some records that, like, kind of, artists didn't go like crazy long, but they were trying to think though, like, you making me like, because it's a weird spot. Like, there's TLC Gap, and then there's Lies is a great one. Because it was like right around the same time. That was the homie, So there was that moment. Gosh, why are you making me? I don't know what I'm trying to go where,
but I think Destiny's Child's in the middle of Harlem before they had a song pop off. The middle of Harlem before I think they performed Destiny's Child. Perform, because when you come out, the name of the game is to get around and let everybody see you. I seen them before they had hits in the middle of Harlem performing. And I was just, and you knew, this about to go. I seen Doja Cat. Doja Cat was at the spot in Brooklyn to showcase. She went crazy, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to see this thing.
I think about now moments like that too. Like, for me, a really significant moment I've talked about before. It wasn't in my era, like the one I was starting, but I just feel like I always I know my stuff. Like, I know my shit. Because I remember being in the studio with Frank Ocean when he was called Lonnie Bro. And like, low key, I shared it, but Tricky Stewart gave me his mixtape. The CD, we were bumping the CDs then. And I remember playing his, I would like rise to the CD every day. I'm like, this guy, he's amazing. And then he was like, don't play it for nobody. And I was playing it for everybody. I was like, this kid gonna be the next joint. So I love moments like that when you see that happen. It's like motivated, clear on your vision creatively. You know what you're talking about. And it's star when you see a star. Like, I love moments like that. I remember also back in the days, someone sharing Justin Bieber's project, like, this new artist is so dope, blah, blah, being so excited, like, this kid's a star. Like, he should go and see LA. I've never said this to Justin, but I remember, like, talking in small circles where people knew, and it's crazy to see, Justin went off to be Justin Bieber.
I'm going to skip. Because we ain't talk about your husband yet, but this Justin Bieber, I just came from LA. Anywhere you see a cheese line coffee, smoothie, anything. You ask, yo, what's that? They like, oh, that's the coffee. Haley Bieber drinks it. You got some other shit. It's a smoothie, a line down the block, 10,000 people. Yo, what's that? That's the smoothie. The Haley Bieber drinks. Yo, my man. What? She is so influential. What? Do you know about Haley Bieber like that? What? Who the hell is? Follow her to that level. Haley's fine. Haley been like, no, I'm doing it too. I ain't know what that was. Been like, fashion wise, she's always been on her stuff. She's just dope. You know, if you get to know her too, she's super sweet. I'm so proud of her though, because what she's done is amazing. Grace, yeah, it's amazing. I'm reading. Anywhere you go in LA, they don't mean nothing. You just, she's always been there for Haley Bieber go there. It's like, oh, you're like, what? Yo, anywhere you see go, it's on out there. There you go. Today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. All right. The NBA is finally back. Where's New York at? Right here. Big expectations this season. You can bet NBA games any night on the app. And if you think you know the future script for this season, lock in your future bets. Is this finally New York's year? Who's going to be MVP? Rookie of the year? If you know ball, bet. There's no better time to try your first bet on Hard Rock Bet. Place your first $5 bet. And if it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your payout. Plus, there's new promos every day on Hard Rock Bet, including profit boosts for football on Sunday and Monday. So if you're listening to this later, just open the app and check out what you get any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit today. Let's get to it. 23 million records sold worldwide, 1 Grammy Award for Best Short Form Music Video, 3 #1 Billboard Hot 100 singles, 8 studio albums, Harvard Business School. So good.
Well, I did this space called the BIMS program. It's for Business, Entertainment, Media, and Sports. Professor Anita Alberski, she's amazing. She's a legend at Harvard, the Harvard campus. And I've always wanted to go to school. Like when I started back in the days with goodies, I skipped college because that was the beginning. I was just like 18, 19 years old. So, you know, I always wanted to have the chance to go to college. And so that was my experience. I didn't do a full on, you know, course, but it was a moment that I had. And I actually want to go back and spend more time when the time is right. You know, maybe I'll do that when I hit the eras of my 50s. But, you know, that was a special moment. But, yeah, yeah. Less.
What are you looking at me like that? They want to say some shit. I don't really. Recently just dropped a new album, August 2025. CC, tell us about that project.
Yeah, so CC, y'all know that's my nickname.
Okay.
Whenever I see my fans in the streets, they be like, "What's up, CC?" It just feels so personal for me. So, you know, this chapter is significant. You know, being an independent artist, you know, running my own label is not for the weak. You know, but what I realized is that, you know, the power of one, it all comes from God. He's the CEO of all CEOs, right? The boss of all bosses, what he says is going to go. But the truth is my fans. Like if it wasn't for my fans, I would not be here. So this has really been the era and the chapter of gratitude for me because it's 21 years since Goodies came out. And to be sitting here talking to you guys, feeling as young as ever, you know, but also feeling like I have so much opportunity in front of me. And I'm also doing things my way. And how I want to do them and how I envision them and when I want to is such a blessing. But to have my fans with me along the way is so significant. Like it's like I wish there was a better way to say thank you. So for me, my project to my fans, the CC album was a form of my gratitude to them because I basically started making this project back in the pandemic, like almost 6 years ago or 5 years ago. And I released songs and bits, and I was like, why? Let me start releasing them as individual records. Let me just give them a complete package. So, I mean, since then, I've literally been, you know, I've had 2 babies along the way. You know, I've been on tour with, shout out to Missy and Busta and Timbaland. That was special. You know, a lot has happened along the way. And so I said, let me put a bow on it and let me just be my fans in fullness. And so CC is it's the product of that and my feelings. But again, I'm just so grateful. You know, it's funny because I remember processing like, where am I as an artist? Like, where am I going? Like, do I feel as 100 about it as I've always felt? Like all these different questions. And like, what are my fans going to think? Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, I feel like we don't live in a time right now where the pressure's on like first speaks and all this kind of stuff. There's so many records that's come out now.
Then it's not one time.
You know, but
That's a whole different thing now. It's not that.
well, there's like 1,000 songs that come out a day, right? It's different.
How many independent I never lost?
Hey,
I sold 2 million records with Atlanta. They tell me I still owe them. I
wow.
went independent, put out albums, stole 100,000, 150,000, and I made millions.
Yeah, 100%.
So you know, the thing with independent has got to be seamless. Your fans got to look. They do not care.
No, it's just,
If you're on fucking Warner Brothers or you're on
no,
Tito Block Records, they don't give a fuck. They don't care.
no, it's
And if your video's still fire, you working out. You know, I don't think you have money issues because I ain't gonna lie to you. That fucking rock on your finger from here is the most disrespectful shit.
Look like
They
that.
like fucking look like
Hey, like,
they took down the Titanic. And I seen shit. That shit right there. Oh my God.
this
You have
is
a problem with independent. My thing is, I prefer independent because I have a problem with certain people having authority over me. And, you know,
yeah.
I don't.
No, that was a real thing. You know, that's why I said,
You know, yo,
oh, yeah, you got to
I heard.
yeah, it's the truth.
Fuck these fools right here. Don't bozo stupid.
No, it's the truth. You know what's crazy though? Here's the
Science was lazy. I'm sorry, just sorry.
everyone has their own journey, right? For me, I definitely feel incredibly empowered to be doing it my way. Because literally the day, you know, I had one of the worst. I call it one of the worst days in my career. I would say in one day, and the next.
Explain that.
So I went in with Level Up, right? And so trying to make this story short, but basically I was in the reporting system, the major system. I don't like saying the name, but I was in the signed to the label, and then there was a rotation of CEOs coming in and out. So you all know, like I know, when you have a new system coming in, you have to resell all over again. And that's exhausting.
Not only that, they come in with a new mindset on how they want to run.
Yeah, they say, do everything.
Favorite people, so you gotta convince them to do that.
Yeah, so you got to do it all over again, right? So that was my second round of having to do that again. I'm like, man, this is crazy because you already started the process. You already know where you want to go, but I got to sell the next person all over again. So I had the meeting with the gentleman and with the guy, and then you know, I played him the visual for Level Up, played him the record. I'm like, you know, I think it's gonna be crazy. You know, I'm feeling real confident. And he basically just called me.
when my goodies came out, that was when we first got a cell phone.
The vision of what I saw.
6th grade.
And so I walked out kind of like depleted because I'm like, I was so
7th grade.
hyped up for this meeting. And now I'm about to get this record out. And yeah, but it's crazy because the power manifestation is real. Literally a few weeks before this, Russ and I were sitting up late because I was so frustrated with this system in general. I'm like, man, I can't wait to run my own label one day. Like, I can't wait to do it my way. And we start researching like people that own their own labels, women that had their own labels. Like we start going this whole like rabbit hole. So then fast forward to literally it's crazy. Like what you say is so important. Like there's life and death in the tongue. So I would say when you speak, you have a chance to tell your life story, say great things. So I'm like talking, like subconsciously speaking life into what I wanted to do. Literally have that meeting. Worst meeting in one day, the next day one of the best days because I started Beauty Marks Entertainment, my own label. And my idea was that all the stars you get from the offices you face in life are your beauty marks.
Really?
So whenever I need more space in my wardrobe, I sell everything I don't wear anymore on Vinted. It's an app for Vinted. So I was able to look at life's journey and be like, you know, all that I've gone through that hasn't been so beautiful and felt so ugly and so like uncomfortable. When I went through it was they're my beauty marks. Right? So we kind of just like encapsulate my journey. But anyways, you know, I asked my master's back, gave it to me for free. Didn't believe like that, right?
Like that.
Yeah. So
Bitch ass.
I know who to call. I even talk to me. I was calling Joe. Joe, let him know. Let the hammer out. Get on him, John. No, but I asked for it. Gave it to me for free. And then, I'll never look back. And now, fast forward to Level Up is almost 4 times platinum today.
All right? Money.
Yeah, it's a blessing. And it's a song, it just keeps on leveling up, right? Just recently, it's the song for the Starbucks, commercial for the protein drink they have. And there's just been so many opportunities to start retraining all over again on TikTok not too long ago. And then,
God works.
Yeah, God is so, that's to say he's the boss of all bosses. It's like whatever he says is going to be,
Like the CC album, I seen you cooking up with Tiger.
Yeah.
I seen some seriously. All our guests, I usually have a song with. Just want to know why you never call.
Oh, listen, you say less. When I walk out of here, I'm going to have a record. No, you don't understand. You don't understand. You know, because I don't listen. Because I told you the way I flagged you down the next game.
Yeah.
Listen, I said, James, don't go home and watch it. Because sometimes we go back to the back, but you don't understand. Like, you were like the best. So.
Tiger cooking that shit was dope. I'm like, yeah, I thought with a perfect on this thing.
It's too late for me.
And then to the second,
It's too late for a remix.
no, Paul, I'm in, man.
No, I'm done.
In the second part, I feel there's one thing I don't like being signed to the majors that all of the hard work, everything you sold them with, you can do.
Yeah.
How the hell every time you want to release a project, it's like you got to keep selling it and keep doing the audition.
Yeah.
Do you not know who we are? Why the fuck do you turn your back to star search? Why don't you make your own independent and hire me for free? Go independent. Hire me for free. You're scared. Like the CEO. And I'll show you how to do it. Fuck them, man. I'm telling you. Yo, when you go, I know how to do it. That's my own. I've been dreaming. I've been waiting. That's what dreaming. Like I never knew. I'm the fucking money independent non-stop.
That's why the power of believing in yourself is so important.
Yeah.
Because
You gotta believe in it.
especially when you're in those moments, because you got those are not flags. This is big stuff.
Good flag. Okay,
good move.
It's a good flag.
Yeah, no, the flags of the move. Got to gain on it. We got to gain on the flag. Gain on the flag.
Yeah, gain on the flag. You think hold on, we don't get into that. First international artist on the Rolling Stone.
Nice, yeah, good people.
So that's
She good people.
It's the best, man. Africa is special. I've been fortunate to go many times over the years of my career, and it's different when you go over other people. The sauce, the talent, the music. Before Afrobeats was a thing in the U.S., I'm gonna tell you now, I was on it. I remember telling my team, I was like, y'all, I think it's gonna be the next wave in America. I'm telling you right now, it was, the Tiwa Savages, the technos of the world. I was literally dancing in the streets of Lagos, in the streets, like talking about, like they had to have the guys posted up, watching, only the guy who lived in the neighborhood could shoot me, like all kind of stuff on the visual. But I remember being out there because I always love. My thing is when I go to Africa, there's some parts that leave me in tears when I leave sometimes, And I'm like, I can't go here and just take, meaning go and perform. Performing is amazing there, but how can I give? You want to find a way to give or do something. And for me, giving doesn't have to be a monetary form. It could also be just in your time, touching the people, going to the schools. So for me, that's one place in this world I fell in love with.
Yeah, I don't know if we call it. I've been battling with myself about telling this story. I tell it down your back all this as well. I toured Africa with
Yeah.
We went on.
We had a run.
In Africa.
Was that Abuja? It was all these places.
But listen,
yeah, that was crazy.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Tell me whether this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So me and I tour in Africa. and she's ripping it down, we ripping it down. And they used to do lean back on your set too, right?
Yeah.
So we go on. We every day we talk. So one day I go on the plane in Africa, and there's a girl somebody next to me with the hat, which she covered this, that. And I sit down, I don't never bother nobody else sit next to her. And I look and I'm like, Sierra? I walked over to her. She's like, hiding her face. Why would you be hiding your face from me? She's like, nah, Joe, I'm like, it was the craziest shit ever happened to me in my life. I'm like, I put you every day. You do that on the plane, right?
I sleep with a blanket over my face.
Joe, that's fucking crazy. I'm with her every day performing.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they see you on a flight. No, you want to see me.
Listen, clearly, Joe is crazy. And back in the day, you said using your story, he was real crazy.
Oh, yes, that's
So we got it. Joe told me, and I was like,
I'm like, yo, you performed with you last night. But they got you, why you doing?
celebrating around backstage.
Nothing like African.
Yeah, no, Africa's special. I just recently got a great opportunity to go to Benin. And I got my dual citizenship there, which is cool. So the first international person to get a passport certified in Benin. So it's a new whole thing they're doing for the African diaspora, where you can go and get your dual citizenship. And the president, Talon,
Think about it, we ain't never seen it.
it's a magical place.
Yeah,
shout out Diamond Platinums. He's on my song Low, and that's been incredible. Just engaging with him, like seeing. It's just different, man. Like I can't even explain it. Like it's something so special. It's intangible, but it's like I want to keep spending time there. Like I want to keep pouring into that place. Because when you go there, they pour into you. Like it's really different.
You understand how they go by here when you're in Africa in the middle of a village and they chasing you and you just walk. You feel like Muhammad Ali.
Oh, it's special.
Like Ali Boombaye. You walk into you ever been to one of them? Like, I've been over there. What's that little guy? Joe&Jada, you be walking down the street.
It's special.
I've been in Africa where they touch your hair with the real razor. The fucking razor. Not a razor. The razor. To cut that shit. Like the real razor, and they giving you a cut. There's 5,000 people outside watching you get your cut. And they fucking chick. Davido, I met him at the All-Star game, and he was like, yo, I seen you in my village 10 times when I was a kid. You ain't even
crazy.
We was in Africa hard, though.
Yeah, and all this
people are saying
it's different, It's so funny because
shout out my favorite African group of all time. They call Magic System.
Magic System.
They set that bitch off, man. That shit was crazy out there. Magic System. Y'all know that song when y'all get it, man. But yeah, Africa's special.
It's different, no, for sure.
Let's talk about this film production. Tell us about Sarah's Oil.
So before we go now, I want to speak on one more thing about Africa.
Okay.
I also have a cool record with Molly and Oxlade as well. And I guess I'm all the way in my African bag right now. I'm just so, which by the way, I've seen a couple of things people have been saying when they're like, checking my timing on when I've been tapped in to Africa and the Afro beats and the music. I've been on that. Like, go back in time and shout out to Techno because I did a record with them for almost 8 years to do a song together. So I've been tapped in.
People try to act like you just get it up.
I just knew, like, we trying to follow something. Like, no, we've been there. So like,
when did you Google when Another Round came out with Chris Brown? Because I was with Chris Brown on tour. You don't know that one day we was on a show together. That was a big festival. In 2011, what is now? 2025?
14 years ago.
So 14 years ago, I was with you in Africa, and take that song backstage. We was talking.
When I said,
like, yo, Joe, let's work. I said, don't fucking lie to me, bro.
Wow.
Don't lie to me and say you want to work. He was like, nah, send me the joint. And that's how we came up with Another Round. You was in there. You was at that show with us, too.
That's crazy.
You tapped in.
Come on now. No, Joe.
Networking, Joe.
No. So yes, I mean, What'd you say, Jay?
Well, you get some good networking backstage with CB.
Come on now, hustling. But yeah, no. So, and by the way, on that record, the Nice and Sweet record, because my fans are asking me about this song, there's a couple of technical difficulties happening in the background on the Nice and Sweet record. So it was supposed to be on my deluxe album that came out back in August. But the cool thing is that now the fans will be able to get it, and it's going to be on my deluxe vinyl that'll be coming out that they can pre-order once that record comes out. November 14th is the big date for that song. And again, Nice and Sweet, Oxlade and Molly. Again, I'm just, it's just such good vibes all over. So I'm excited for them for it. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Now we can talk about
Sarah's Oil, yeah. Sarah, that's a young legend. She was the first Black, or one of the first Black millionaires at just the young age of 11.
Wow.
And she discovered the value that her family was sitting on in reference to oil. And so I don't want to get too much of a story.
Yeah, I got to check it out. It's on the move for your pull your third down, Jada. Insurance let you know nobody ever helps me. But thank God they're helping me, Jada. I watched that episode, my shit be up here like this. I look like corn chocolate out this motherfucker, but yo, you know what I'm saying?
November 7th, the big day will be in theaters. I'm actually going to put one of the theaters here in New York, so I'm excited about that. But yes, me and Russ did it in collaboration with our YNW Productions company and Amazon Studios. It's a beautiful story and so necessary, especially considering we are with history and like continuing on the importance of telling the stories, of moments like this for Sarah. Like it's special. Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
Do you live in New York or you live in Jersey?
I'm in New York area.
New York.
Yeah.
How can you do it? Like
I love it.
come out a Midtown Manhattan building. You want to see people or you don't want to see people?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to see people that I don't want to see them outside my front door. Like, I don't want to come out and the post office be like, Joe.
Can I tell you though, the people here have been so amazing. Like it's that thing when they're like, hey CC, like they'll say, hey CC, and keep it rolling. Or if I'm like, I'm in mommy with my babies, they'll be respectful, Now some people they just get really excited, and that's a blessing too. But I love the city. I love the energy. Like it feels like you're walking in a movie set every day here. Like it's always.
Hey, man. Yeah, that's a fact.
Some kind of drop video outside because you can forget about it. You got
Yeah.
ambulance going on. Somebody pushing somebody out. We had the craziest.
Bro, I can't do that.
I'm telling you,
I'm taking the kid to Georgia, so
this shit, every that shit is a fact.
right. So you see a lot.
Man, I'm talking this shit crazy.
Particularly no rough in Decatur, Georgia, but it's kind of same language kind of stuff. So I remember being in the
Dang,
the other day, and this man was going off like I'm talking about crazy going on, and my kids are with me, and I'm like, what do I do? And I said, hey, Ruth, I asked him, I was like, is it two of them or is it just one? So like, if he's one, we all right, because he's just going crazy. But if it's two, then we might shake real quick. But it was like, it's literally nonstop like that.
yeah.
And then like, I kind of like let the kids like hear a little because for me, like those little things added color to my world coming up. But you gotta be smart, right? You want to be smart. You want to make sure you keep your kids out of harm's way. But it's just like, it's literally never a dull moment in New York. Like, it's crazy, but it's so good. Like, actually,
I'm so guilty. I don't know who taught us in the hood, like going to the ghetto Chinese. We all used to know this. You motherfucking ketchup. You ain't put enough duck sauce in my but it's just the cultural thing. It's like you go in there just to argue with it.
Yeah.
That's just culture. It's culture. It's like you just growing up where it's like,
Yeah.
it just becomes in you in a party. I wouldn't argue with people my duck sauce, but you have to get back. You know what you're saying? No, coming up, and you just probably being a hothead.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're going to go to front. No, I can really, man.
Just bring them all in the argue. I'm going bad.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason.
It's a little part of the New York way, but I think when you know that, like you just go, there's just so much diversity and so much like culture here. Like even for our kids, like I love that he's just playing basketball with like boys, a lot of boys that look like him.
That is a fact.
Turn your pastime into your full time.
Person style.
It is never a dull moment in New York, boy. You will see some of everything. That what make me want to record because you will see some of everything. Ain't no telling what you gonna see. And everybody fresh, everybody doing their own thing, got their own style.
I love, for me, the dog that I was, how I was raised, like that was significant for me. You know what I'm saying? From where I came from. So I love that our kids get a little bit of, they get a little taste of something new and different, but like a little edge to them, but they know who they are. Like they gotta know who they are in the midst of it all. But it's a lot of like goodness, coming from this place. My dad's from New York. My dad's from, he was down from Harlem, 125th Street. When you ask him where he's from, proudly growing up, walking around with the boombox on his shoulder. So it's like,
I'm looking at you right now. I said, yo, Sierra, they're not even looking at you like you from somewhere else. They're looking at you like you from New York. You don't give off, I'm from somewhere else vibe. You give off, I'm from New York vibes. And your husband, man, the man on a team, playing for New York, that's a different type of,
yeah,
we got love
yeah,
for whoever supported New York like that.
yeah, the lights are big in New York.
Educational questions. You mean it's a big intellectual picture magazine? You went in question. Soft y'all get all out. Yo, hell yeah. Yo. Country off. We're here. Subscribe for the free. Give me a few for free. I'm gonna give you that. Yo. Any more tours coming up?
More tours, 100%. I'm actually planning on next year. I'm putting together plans. Like I really want to travel the world. Ideally,
like performing or just travel?
Tour. Yeah, I want to travel. I want to travel across the pond. I want to go to places like Asia. I want to go to Africa some more. I want to go to Australia. It's actually something really cool. I'm confirming right now that's happening in Aussie for next year. So I haven't done like my own tour in a while. So it's time. It's time for me to take CC on the road. Which, by the way, what I was saying earlier, just going back, like one thing I got to go back to the fans again because what they showed me on this journey was to keep going. So I've been processing like what, like if you listen, there's a saying, if you live by the street, you die by the booze. So, you hear so much conversation sometimes that if you're not in the right space.
That's legendary for anyone like famous or entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it's
live by the cheers.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
In the world.
Yes.
Yesterday's price, not today's price.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But like it's like the thing too, like, the world can be like waves in the sea. So like naturally you sometimes can kind of, if you roll with the world, you can be a little off your set. You can be like, should I be doing this? Should I not be? You start thinking about all these different things, but the fans have shown me on this project, we're close to 500 million streams on the project. We're pushing 300 million, but they showed me like, so I gotta take this show on the road. Like I got to Howie Rose almost gold as well, which is amazing. Just the love has been insane. In this project.
I don't know much about him. I just know he's a super legend of all time. And you're giving me Elvis Presley vibes, right? So there's a
What?
bro, you want to talk?
Let me follow you.
You want to talk superstars? Let's talk Elvis Presley, right? And I can say even in Spanish, Hector Lavoe, my favorite salsa singer of all time. Nobody can touch it, right? But I saw this autobiography. What is it called? The biography when they do a movie. They did a movie by Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley jumped off the plane. There's 1 million girls. Like anything we ever thought Justin Bieber was or the big Elvis was hits. Like on another level, doing movies, first guy with the plans from Houston. Die. Like, I mean, there was a time where he fell a little flat. And I used the bathroom. Elvis stole mad shit for mad DJ.
Okay, so you said those flexible ones. You said that. We see this is where you have one.
No, we don't usually, but we'll talk.
Okay, keep going.
What happens is you don't want to hear that shit. I get it.
Okay.
What I'm saying to you is that they had this thing, this movie on Elvis, where Elvis literally was paralyzing. If he showed up at JFK, there was 1 million girls at JFK. The plane couldn't even move.
Yeah.
Then it got to a point where people really didn't care about Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
So one day he's on his way to like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's used to everybody chasing him and all that, when he shows up, there's no girls there. There's nobody there.
Wow.
And his manager starts hitting the car. Boom, 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 Joe, duck, Elvis, boom, boom, boom. Nah, they out there, they chasing us. Boom, that's the people. And they actually hired him to suit him up to make him feel like he's still Elvis.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, he came back. But like when you see this movie, Cantante with J-Lo and Mark Anthony, where Mark Anthony played Hector Lavoe. Hector Lavoe is pound for pound the greatest salsa singer of all time. And there's a part of the movie where he's doing shows and there's 10 people in the stadium.
Mm.
But he's the greatest of all time. So everybody go through a time where you got to fight that adversity and push through. Elvis eventually pushed through and, became hot again.
100%.
So that's where we got to check ourselves, somewhere where, shit just, you start questioning yourself, should you go on or whatever. I just think a hit maker, someone who pushes the culture. Like I never go against Nelly. I never go against 50 Cent. I never go against certain artists that I know can hit one out the park.
Mm-hmm. A star's a star.
Star's a star.
A star will always.
So I'm not surprised when Nelly come with a country record to sell 10 million out of nowhere. I'm like, fucking hell. I knew you hit one out the park.
Well, I mean, I don't know what great, like true great, like legendary, iconic figure hasn't been questioned if they could do it or if they couldn't.
Yeah.
Right? The same, Russell Hill, Russell said, the greater you're great, the more they hate. Right?
The more they're great, the more they hate.
The greater you're great, the more they hate.
The greater you're great, the more they hate.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we live in a world where people, they love to take you all the way up.
Yes.
And then they also
They want to pull you down. They want to feed
so
things.
yeah, so
I don't let them. I don't let them, Jake.
So I think that's like,
She's talking our language. She's saying that unfortunately people like to bring you all the way up to pull you down.
That's just the world we live in. So I was saying to him, I'm like, I don't know one great or legend or iconic figure like that's gone all the way to the highest place that hasn't been challenged at some point along the way or been told they can't do it again. Mm-hmm. Or someone hasn't tried to pull them down. Like name one. I don't know.
They don't exist.
Yeah, but when you're great and when you're a star,
You can do it again.
always try to star.
I think
You're gonna always
the biggest star, the biggest entertainer ever lived in the history of mankind. They killed him, Jesus Christ.
Come on now.
And while he was walking to his death, they had people screaming against him on the side.
Friends.
You ain't shit.
Yeah.
You ain't this. You ain't that. So whenever, because we're not going to sit here. I don't know about y'all, because he does a good job of it. Sometimes they get on my nerves when they start talking shit about me or comments or interviews or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm human, although I don't let them see it, but sometimes the shit bothers me. I'm like, yo, man, I just came back from feeding 1,000 people in the hood. They telling me I ain't shit. That bothers, right?
Yeah.
But I just think of Jesus Christ. And I say, yo, he had haters. And you look today, you hated on Jesus.
He's the greatest of all.
Jesus was killed by the police. That's a funny one. Jesus was killed by police. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. And I remember she was terrible. The queen was Cersei, but they made her do that walk of shame out there.
Mm.
Right? The lost kid. Shame. And they wanted to see that. They were like, look, I've been rich for so long. They this, and that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because you got a clue. Lala, the Kardashians, the this, area Lee. How do y'all keep that friendship for so long?
I gotta say, like Lizzie, Lala Lizzie. I've known her for I don't know how many years this is now. Yeah, we're almost pushed in the time since that first came out. She's solid. She's special. And I think, what the best thing is for all my girls, right? Is when they're not like waves in the sea. Like, you got real friends, like when you're going through something and they're calling you to check on you. Or when you call them, they answer every time. I've been so blessed to have such a strong support system of girls and friends in my world that are also bosses. I'm not gonna lie, like I respect the hustle of all my friends. Like, so when we talk in hustle language, it's not foreign to us. It's all the same language. And I think that's important in your circle of friends that you have. I think it's important to have, like-minded individuals, people that, are thriving or striving, because everybody starts from somewhere. They don't have to be in the best place of their lives, but they're striving, to be their best selves. When you talk, they uplift you. They don't bring you make it crazy with the Kardashians. Like, has Kim ever asked you for some dance moves? I believe so. It was actually fun. It was actually funny when we start talking about dancing. She's cute. I'll actually be like, hey Kim, can you do this little cute challenge thing that I'm doing, and she'll do it in her best way. But does she like hip hop? Of course, Kim. Of course. Now, y'all don't put me in no sports. No, nothing over here now. You like hip hop. I think Kim likes all music. You ready to go with it on like hip hop? I mean, no. Come on. Y'all are silly. Wait, what is happening today? First of all, hip hop, you say this shit. I was going to say this shit. Hip hop has been stolen, used, and abused by every single genre in the world. You can be watching a movie, something comes up, they have to play the hip hop record. When I listen to country, they did hip hop with their lyrics and the way they sing the shit now. When I listen to pop, they did hip hop. Everything, every aspect of entertainment in this world, these hip hop. There's just no way around it. Can you say hip hop has influenced the culture of music and entertainment so significantly that it's inspired more than any other genre? No. That's not what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. What I'm trying to tell you is that if I pull up another genre, it's the political way to say it. If I pull up pop, you're gonna find it. The little girl gonna sing like a rap. That whoever wrote her family had hip hop. Well, that's the power. Country. As much as they don't want to give it up, I listen to their music and I hear bars where somebody from hip hop wrote that shit, and everything came pop. They stole from hip hop. Is that a bad thing? No. Duh. No. I'm not mad at that. What I'm just when you say stole, I influence. But what my thing is, it's like me and my the genre. Yeah, the credit. You playing it? You want to talk about Chuck Berry and what's my man Richard? Little Richard. All up. Like I can hear all the niggas that Elvis stole and shit. Man, people been stealing from hip hop. Is what I'm trying to tell you, and they calling it their own genre. It's like this is K-pop. This is whatever. This is this is that. But I hear the hip hop. The dances are hip hop. Everything is hip hop. But they got their own shit. But that shit comes from here. Is what I'm trying. The origin source. This is source. Yeah. And everything has its origin. But again, it just lets you know like the power of the influence, right? Like that's music though. Like, I think it's something to be said about how you get inspired. It's like my record, like my cadence is a little hip hop driven, but intentionally. You can hear you know what I'm saying? Like, so but it's the core. Like when you say hip hop for me, because I'm from Atlanta, like hip hop in New York, to me, it sounds different than when you say hip hop. Because there's R&B for me, right? R&B is so significant like hip hop and where I'm from, so both genres are like so present. Our hip hop is our hip hop, New York hip hop is this hip hop, West Coast hip hop is this hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So, but ultimately it's all pop culture. Mm-hmm. Right? It's all pop culture, right? It's that influential, when you think about like what you're saying, Yeah, I'm just saying,
They should put the money on the pot for the pioneers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just you're using the culture. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a song. It's a new song. Okay. Birthday. And let's taste the stay. Salute. Salute. Shout out to life, man. Just living life, being good people. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. You took a sip. Oh, you can get low, man. You know, you can get low. You don't take sips. One is so hard. They bring the opposite way. One more sip, you low. Let me get it low. Let me get one more. See, don't chill. Let me tell you something. I'm like the scarecrow. I need a little oil in my joints. You know what I'm saying? I can't get low. So Sierra, that ain't that, and that ain't this. It's cracking kid. Only two sips did it. No, no, this ain't that. That ain't this. It's cracking kid. Make some noise for our guest Sierra. Thank you for having me. So again, Sierra, that album safety. You can't do nothing whack. I just heard two smashes in a row. And just some artists, they just that good. The it factor, when you got it, you got it. When you don't, so sorry. The new project. And I appreciate y'all so much. And I know who to call when I need somebody to light somebody up one time. I'm calling both of y'all. I'm calling both of y'all because we know they gonna handle it with ease and authority. So I appreciate y'all though. This was really fun. Honestly, I was so excited to come in. I know I said it earlier, but you guys are just amazing. And I'm enjoying what you're doing for the culture, for hip hop and beyond. So thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. Shout out to Sierra, man. Shout out to Joe and Jada because one thing about the podcast, we get to see certain people we ain't never seen before, speak on everything, their life, their story, what's going on, how they got started, what age they got started. I always want to know like what age did they get started, what age did they blow, what age did they make it, where they from, you know what I'm saying? Basically where they from. They're like, oh, you from the South? I'm from the South. Oh, you was young when you made it? Okay, cool. Certain things like that. The beginning of these stories is always important. So watching these podcasts, that's what I love, man. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make someone you check out the guy off Supreme Team. What's his name? Prince. So he just did 34 years. So I'm gonna check him out. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.